3 O'Clock High, a film that right from its start I could tell was going to have something about it that would inevitably draw me in. Now, plot-wise, it's nothing new or original. New kid moves to town and immediately has it out for the main character. So on the surface, it appears to be nothing more than your typical high school kid has to face the bully kind of movie. But underneath, it's a surprisingly well-written story about finding one's limits, confronting our flaws, and ultimately having some respect for yourself. Now, this is the third recommendation this month alone from my Patreon supporter Daniel, and dude is on a roll picking kick-ass movies, so let's move right into this. Now, this movie starts with a straight-up 1980s style line foreshadowing that we are in for some shit.
I guess I should have known from the beginning. It was gonna be one of those days.
Jerry Mitchell, our main character, has woken up late for his duty to open the school store, so over the credits we get a montage of all sorts showing everything from him rushing to find appropriate clothes, having a fast breakfast, suffering car trouble, and with no other choice hauling ass in his mother's car to get him, his sister, and presumably his girlfriend to school. And I mean it, because as casual as you could possibly be, he's just speeding through stop signs, running red lights, and nearly killing them all after getting distracted by a chick in the next lane. All while his sister and that other chick just sit there like they popped a bunch of pills or something. They sure as hell don't look worried. Now somehow the three safely arrive, and the kids at school are all abuzz as they feed into the rumor train, spreading among them like wildfire over this new kid, Buddy Revell, who's arriving today.
He doesn't like to be touched by anybody. We put the teacher in the hospital for 3 days.
Now like clockwork, he shows up as Jerry and his sister watch from the school store window. Buddy Revell is played by Richard Tyson, by the way, who you might remember from Kindergarten Cop.
It's me. Don't you remember? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Look. See?
Awesome. Me and Audrey thought it was fucking Val Kilmer at first. Now he makes his way through the silent student body towards the school, and Jerry, who is still getting the store ready, is met by Mr. Rice, played by Jeffrey Tambor, for a small scene about the cash flow and success of the school store. It's gonna have some importance later. Now what I love though, and didn't really notice on the first viewing, is how upstanding Jerry is here. When his sister casually jokes that they could throw an awesome party with the almost $500 the school store has taken in, his response is exactly what you'd expect from a good kid. Now remember that for later.
It's called Grand Theft Free.
We also get introduced to the hot chick, and like the formula goes, Jerry bumbles around like a moron, but it actually works kind of okay in this scenario.
When you're doing homework in bed and you're writing upside down and the ink stops flowing.
I don't do homework in bed.
And even has some importance by the end of the movie. Man, all these little scenes that movies usually waste on us, they actually have purpose in this one. Now, once in class, Jerry is given an assignment to interview Buddy for a piece in the school newspaper in an effort to make him feel more welcome. And this about causes him to have a damn heart attack, so he has to head to the restroom for some fresh air. Fresh air in the restroom, yeah. Once inside, who should walk in but Buddy? Man, 15 minutes in and they already started this shit. With no time like the present, Jerry attempts conversation with Buddy. And all Jerry has to do is ask him if he can interview him for the paper, but God, he just fails miserably at this.
If you're a fag.
Me? Oh, no way.
He's all sweaty and nervous, and then he freaking touches him, which is like, oh shit.
You're never gonna forget this happened.
You know who he'd get along great with? Tracy from Freddy's Dead.
Tracy! Hold on. She doesn't like to be touched.
Now, after tossing him around the bathroom for a bit, intimidating the shit out of him, Buddy delivers some unfortunate news to Jerry.
3 o'clock in the parking lot. You try and run, I'm gonna track you down.
This one kid who looks like he should have been on the bus in Forrest Gump
Can't sit here.
pops out of a stall where he overheard everything, and he rushes out to tell the entire school what's going down. Attempting to defuse the situation, Buddy isn't letting him off the hook, so his Revenge of the Nerds friend comes up with a plan. Back in class, two of his friends accost him, seeking permission to document his fight and jumpstart their film school careers, while the class watches a documentary on insects. I can't tell you how much I love this scene.
The non-aggressive cricket goes about his daily routine as the crab scorpion lurches forward.
Jerry is the grasshopper and Buddy is the scorpion. And sometimes his friends. With the crush right next to him, his friends badgering him, the dreary narrator basically telling him what he's gonna be going through, and the clock continuing to tick down, it's just all too much.
Another perfect example of
I need to use the restroom.
in the wonderful world.
Out in the hallway, the nerd's plan is coming to fruition as Jerry finds him planting a switchblade into Buddy's locker, hoping to get him kicked out through an anonymous note before the fight can commence. Now Jerry realizes how deep he's in and orders his friend to take the knife out, But with only 30 seconds before the halls are about to be filled with students, time is running out. Now, his sister gives him the best advice of all, which he refuses to listen to, again, painting his character accurately as the wholesome, good guy that he is.
Bree, it's not that simple. I have a book report due in the 5th period, then I have a math quiz in the 6th. If I leave, I flunk both of them.
Doesn't want any trouble, is afraid of failing his tests. The kids head to a pep rally where, much like in film class, the anxiety rises when Buddy walks in, and the cheerleaders beat the hell out of an effigy, throwing glitter everywhere, and launching its head into the bleachers where it lands right next to him. Bathroom time. Now there's a false scare here where we think Buddy is the one coming into the restroom, but it turns out to be his goofy friends continuing to harass him about their film, and in desperation, he runs out to the car ready to get the fuck out of here. Oh shit, he knows. Now Buddy has rendered the car inoperable, so as Jerry attempts to escape on foot, he's caught by one of the school resource officers who finds the knife on him and turns him over to the principal. He spills his story.
That is absolutely the most ridiculous excuse I have ever heard in my entire career as a disciplinarian, Jerry.
Yeah, I'd find it a little unbelievable too, honestly. Even worse, his nerdy friend has already retrieved the note before the teacher saw it, so any proof he might have had is now gone. And as the principal pulls his file, he finds its cleanliness suspicious, and he just lays into Jerry.
I'm going to be watching you from now on.
Like the kids in Bad Boys, people are taking bets on the fight. What is up with this dude? He looks like the grandma's boy kid. Now, in pure desperation, Jerry gets his nerdy friend to pull the fire alarm, and as all the students converge on the football field, he runs off to ask a favor of Craig, a larger football player and kid he once helped with his homework.
If you're a fag...
No. I just need your advice on something.
Offering him pure cash for protection, and this is why I pointed out how upstanding Jerry was earlier. He's so mentally broken, he thinks nothing of robbing the school store in an effort to save his own life. Now, as the cash register sticks like it's known to do, he grows ever frustrated, and in utter despair, destroys the whole goddamn school store trying to open this cash register. He gives the money to Craig, who tells him not to worry anymore, and Mr. Rice pulls Jerry out of class later to see what's been done to the poor store. Man, the pressure just keeps on piling up, and the clock just keeps on ticking down. Tension City.
Whoever did this should be plucked out of our school like a burgeoning cancerous growth deep inside the colon.
A bit later, Craig heads into the library where Buddy Revell, is sitting down reading a book. That was my first sign that something was up with him. Like, why would Buddy be reading a book? Is he secretly smart and doesn't want us to know or something? Now anyway, Craig attempts to lay down the law on Buddy.
Asshole.
And after that doesn't go to plan, Jerry is throwing up in the bathroom when his nerdy friend and sister come in with almost all of the money from Craig since he felt so bad about failing him. Not knowing where the money came from, the nerdy friend let him keep like $100, and this causes a verbal fight to break out between the two as Jerry blames Vincent. That's his name's Vincent.
Screw you, man!
Now his sister again gives him a hell of an idea on how to avoid this fight, suggesting he do whatever he can to earn detention in the next class. And in one of the best scenes of the movie, Jerry gets up to deliver his book report. Donning a pair of sunglasses from one kid, a pack of smokes from another, and doing a complete 180 in character, he's a nervous wreck. And I can't even begin to find words for the direction this scene takes. Like, I started to wonder if this was a damn dream, if he done fell asleep in class, but nope, he seduces the teacher in front of everybody.
What's your favorite book, Miss Farmer?
Turn of the Screw.
What a coincidence.
That's what I call a book report.
Waking up in the nurse's office, he's dumbfounded to discover that instead of detention, he has her phone number instead.
She would like you to call her at home this evening. Here's her number.
Like the fight, word gets around, and now people are eyeing Jerry like the badass he is, and even the chick he had a crush on is suddenly macking on him.
Listen, I'm having a party tomorrow night, and I was wondering if you'd like to come.
Heading into the school store, he finds his girlfriend, Franny. I don't know if she's actually his girlfriend or not. Whatever. She's got candles and shit all set up, and he starts macking on her before she starts feeling all weird about it and runs out. And when he attempts to clean up the candles and shit that she left behind, in walks Mr. Rice with a detective investigating the stolen money. And man, he couldn't look any more suspicious. All while the clock is ticking down. That's a carrying theme throughout this movie, and it's really cool. Now back in class, Jerry's bad luck continues when Buddy gets seated right beside him, and his intelligence comes into question as now he's motioning to Jerry to let him copy his work. Now Jerry lets him, unsure if because he thinks he'll get out of the beating if he lets him, or he'll get it worse if he doesn't let him. But the teacher catches them both. Now sent to the assistant principal this time, I think. Neither of the kids want to speak at first, and Jerry, feeling ever threatened, finally opens up and takes the full blame. Now he is not buying this, and he gives them the same treatment that Daniel DeSario and Lindsay Weird got in that one Freaks and Geeks episode that I referenced in another review a while back. Hell if I know which one it was. Class of 1984 maybe? Yeah. Forced to do some calculations on the board, all I could help think was, is it going to be a Led Zeppelin logo when he moves out of the way? No, I kind of saw this coming, that he would get the questions right, proving that he is a smart kid. So what is his deal? What's made him this way? This is the one thing that bothers me about this movie, and not bothers me in a way that I think it's a bad movie, it's just I wanted more. We don't really find out too much more about Buddy in this, and I want to know more about Buddy Revell. Jerry is completely stunned here and gets a stern lecture from the principal guy, and by this point you can't help but feel it in your gut, the sharp turn that Jerry's life has taken in a mere 5 to 6 hours. This is absolutely one of those days. When the two are released from the office, Jerry attempts one last time to connect with Buddy, and as a last resort he even tries paying him to avoid the fight, which surprisingly works.
You're the biggest pussy I've ever met in my life. You didn't even try. How does that feel?
God, the look in this kid's eyes right here is 100% fucking legit, beautifully perfect. That is the face I'd expect a kid to make in this kind of moment. No fucking word is necessary, his eyes just say it all. That shit hurt more than the fight would have. Now Buddy just walks off, and he just stands there, feeling the weight of those words on him, crushing what little spirit he has left. Making his way to the roof. Now it did enter my mind here like, damn, he ain't gonna jump, is he? Nah, he's just getting some fresh air, right? And through the music, which has these uplifting high synth notes carrying us along, suddenly a darker, lower synth note comes cutting through, and you can just see it in his eyes that he's become a man. Straight up to Buddy he marches.
I want my money back.
Oh shit, I think this gif is appropriate.
I'm not kidding, man. I want it back now.
Or what?
I'm no pussy, asshole.
God, I'm so fucking proud of you right now, Jerry.
Fight is on. You and me in the parking lot, 3 o'clock.
You see, look at that change in attitude. Dude has reached his breaking point, just like Angus, and this is where the movies like this, and Bad Boys, they really fucking shine. They're so relatable and believable. No stupid fucking CGI shots, everything's 100% real and gritty and natural, and just pounding through your chest in excitement. Movies need to be like this again. The bell rings and the whole goddamn school is gathered in every nook and cranny before Jerry has even made it outside ready to see it go down. Now Buddy makes his way through the crowd and the two finally meet face to face at 3 o'clock and are immediately stopped by the principal. Damn.
There isn't going to be any fight today!
Oh shit! Now Buddy makes the first move, and seeing her man in danger, Triangle Face rushes in to save Jerry, and that pushes him over the edge. Notice how no one is yelling World Star. There's no women screaming like banshees. Nobody's jumping in, nobody's teaming up or any of that cheap shit, just good old one-on-one fighting. Now Jerry launches onto Buddy's back like a spider monkey, and in comes the resource officers ready to shut things down, but Buddy handles that shit in like an instant and fight goes on.
Fight's on! What? I said, fight's on.
Fired up on pure adrenaline, Jerry is the one talking shit now, and I just love him at this point. Win or lose, I love you, Jerry. Now, as more and more people gather around, the real magic happens. Buddy is the more experienced of the two in the fighting department, though, so after putting Jerry on his ass and pulling a pair of brass knuckles out of his pocket like a cheap son of a bitch, his nerdy friend launches an attack on him, and yeah, I ain't complaining about somebody jumping in on a fight when dude pulls out some brass knuckles. That's okay. Buddy takes care of Vincent and then puts his attention back on Jerry, where the two square off for the final fight. And as we circle the two, the crowd is alive. The screams are blending into one another. Hell, even the principal's got a few words to say.
Don't fuck this up, Mitchell!
And when Buddy moves in for his final blow, his punch is dodged by Jerry, who lays a vicious finishing move on him, winning the crowd's favor and pretty much becoming a sex symbol in the process. The detective rolls up right after, still convinced Jerry is responsible for the stolen money, but holds off on questioning until the next day at the principal's suggestion. While running the school store the next day, the kids are coming up in incredible numbers to buy supplies from him in an effort to get the stolen money replaced. Many are buying single pieces of paper or single pencils instead of packs and are paying full price to help boost profits, all because of how cool they think Jerry is now. That's awesome. As the amount of students in the room almost reached capacity, who should walk in but Buddy? Ready to start some shit, right? Nah, I just know. He respects him. And it's proven when he lays the money on the table. If you look just close enough, he's got a little smile. Just a little bit of a smirk. Ah, damn. And at the end of this flick, Jerry doesn't just get the girl. He gets 3!
Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
Fuck yeah, Jerry. Now, the credits kind of end like it started. Like they're talking about Jerry the way they talked about Buddy at the beginning of the movie. Like he's the new legend, basically. I thought that was really cool. Like I said, my only real complaint about this movie is, why is Buddy the way he is? Like, we don't know anything about his home life, and I mean, maybe back then it was just a case of he's just a bully, but why even bother to tease us with the idea that Buddy might be intelligent, he's reading a book in the library? You know, why even tease us with those if we're never going to explore them any further? I don't know if it would have been better having left them out and just having Buddy just be a bully, because at least then all of our attention would have been on Jerry and Jerry's character. And what happened was I started to get a little too invested in Buddy. And I don't want to complain about that or anything. That's great. I could have had a little more backstory on Buddy and loved this movie more. But I've watched it twice now, and I think it's really good, actually. I didn't think it was too great at first, but I liked it. The second time I watched it, writing my review on it, it really started to dawn on me the subtle things about it that I didn't pick up on the first time. And now, skimming through it for the third time just to get through this and kind of make sure my points are made the way I want, I really do enjoy this movie a lot. This is a solid flick, and I wish more movies like this were made today. So, if you guys got any more recommendations, shit like this, camp movies, high school movies, coming of age movies, any of that shit from the early 80s, early 90s that I haven't seen that is like as good or as close to as good as you can be to something like this or Bad Boys, by all means, let me know, because that is like what I'm really enjoying watching right now. Anyway, I hope I did you justice, Daniel. I appreciate all your suggestions. If anybody else has got any suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. Feel free to support me on Patreon. I'm going to take a small hiatus for a little bit while I get some more reviews done to be ready to be uploaded in the future, but I just need a break right now, and I think I've earned one. So thank you all who have been watching me. I hope you continue to support me. It's been a pleasure.
Like and subscribe for future content.